pelvic floor issues, it is statistically your greatest risk comes from giving birth, but also
Right.
just from pregnancy. And there's a whole list of other things that can set you up to be at risk for pelvic floor issues, which we'll go through. But first, births, that's the first
Yeah.
thing. Certainly,
Yeah.
just carrying a baby to full term, your
Yeah.
body, all the relaxin, right? Everything is meant to stretch and separate and spread. And it's supposed to do that. But it's like carrying a bowling ball on your pelvic floor for 9 months. So I don't care
Yeah.
how that baby comes out. Your pelvic floor has already been through a lot,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
so it's the greatest risk factor for pelvic floor issues, pregnancy and birth. However, this really helps women connect a lot of dots, and nobody is talking about this stuff. So many other things affect your pelvic floor health over a lifespan. For instance, if you were a kid who grew up with chronic asthma and coughing,
Mm.
every one of those, think about
Mm.
it,
Yeah.
right? If anybody is listening got leaks, guess when they flare up most? When you're coughing and sneezing. So
Yeah.
all that lifetime of coughing and sneezing, pressure, 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 and the pelvic floor is like spasming to try to hold everything in every time that's happening. Also, a lifetime of chronic constipation. If you've had bowel issues and you have a history of having to strain and strain every time you're having a bowel movement over decades,
Yeah.
that is another factor. So
Hmm.
I bring all this up because it's a compassionate view for
Hmm.
yourself of like living with these issues is so emotional, and you women often turn inward and go, why me? Why did this happen to me? I did everything right. I exercise, I eat healthy, and I gave birth this way or that way. I did everything I could. And the thing is, just I hope women feel validated by hearing all of these different angles of how this can happen. And
Yeah.
again, I had natural births, and guess what? I couldn't control that sunny side up delivery, the 2.5 hours of pushing. Jen, my business
Wow.
partner, couldn't control that she had asthma as a child. And so
Yeah.
all those things, along with a history of sexual abuse or birth trauma, all
Oh.
put us at risk for dealing with this stuff later, even before we go through pregnancy and childbirth. So
Yeah.
no, you're not alone.